Alright, music lovers, let's get this party started. If this is your first time watching my channel, welcome. Make sure to subscribe, join. This is for the fun people, the sarcastic people, just the out-of-the-box music lovers, or you just might be a huge music nerd. This is the spot for you, I'm telling you. And if you've already been watching my channel, welcome back. So, today, we are going to be reacting to Stairway to Heaven by Led Zeppelin. So I know this intro. I know the intro to Stairway to Heaven because anyone who has picked up a guitar and watched maybe 3 videos on beginner guitar courses, at least one of them will have a joke on most guitarists, or like the people who want to be good at guitar, only learning the intro to Stairway to Heaven. So that's something that is like ingrained in my mind. And it's true because I went to a school for the arts, and most of the people that played guitar, yeah, that's what you would hear almost every lunch hour, just that little intro to Stairway to Heaven. And if I'm being honest, I kind of don't even want to listen to the song, simply because I'd already heard it before I even knew who the band was that made the song, before I even knew the name of the song. That intro was ingrained in my mind by the time I was fucking 16 years old, because by then I'd already heard it for a couple years every day at lunch. But let's get right into it. Also, so I have been doing some research, right, on, you know, just doing music reviews, this, that, and the third, and a lot of the stuff that I've, you know, or want to react to, that I've reacted to and want to react to, because I kind of already have a list of everything that I want to record, most of that will be monetized, or they'll get the money that I would make from those videos. Thankfully, this brain loves knowledge and holds a lot of knowledge. So, with music reviews, I'm also thinking of doing music history. And I don't mean the music history where it's like, back in the days, the Romans introduced the lute, which was a full-stringed instrument. Like, we're not gonna do that. But I mean, we're gonna do the interesting stuff. I mean, all bands, if not all, most bands have had some sort of dispute or something going on. The one that I really want to do, which if I have the time, I will record that right after this video, the guy who challenged Beethoven. Yeah, that's a really funny story just to me, so that's something that I'll definitely be recording as well. So now you can stay tuned for music reviews, you know, those first time listens, but also a little bit of history, a little behind the scenes of some of, I guess, the greatest names in music. And maybe not even the greatest names, maybe there will be something that I've never even heard of that happened in, we'll say, Jamaica. I don't know, maybe 2 guys were at a bar and someone was like, yo, you just stole the bass line to this song, and the other guy's like, the fuck are you talking about? Who knows? That is the great thing about history. There's always going to be something to learn. So, without further ado, let's get into this reaction of Stairway to Heaven by Led Zeppelin. Roll the tape! Alright, here we go.
There's a lady who's sure all that glitters is gold, and she's buying a stairway to heaven. When she gets there, she knows if the stores are all closed, with a word she can get what she came for. She's buying a stairway to heaven. There's a sign on the wall but she wants to be sure. 'Cause you know sometimes words have two meanings.
Wow.
On a tree by the brook, there's a songbird who sings. Sometimes all of our thoughts are misgiven. There's a feeling I get when I look to the west, and my spirit is crying for leaving.
Wow, that's real.
In my thoughts I have seen rings of smoke through the trees, and the voices of those who stand looking. Soon, if we all call the tune, then the piper will lead us to reason, and a new day will dawn for those who stand long, and the forests will echo with laughter. Sprinkling for the May Queen. Yes, there are two paths you can go by, but in the long run, there's still time to change the road you're on. And it makes me wonder. You don't know, the piper's calling you to join him. Dear lady, can you hear the wind blow? And did you know your stairway lies on the whisper?
It's Michael's lowest prices of the season.
There's an ad halfway through this video.
Items like fall florals,
Skip.
decor, and more.
Wow, 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 wow. Dude. Okay. Real note, I am so glad that I did not let knowing the intro stop me from listening to the whole song, right? Because an intro doesn't determine the entire song. Let's be real. Let's be real. I think, well, first, I really think I need to start looking at lyric videos just so I can see everything that they're saying. But lyrics aside, just the instruments, just the instrumentation of it all, I really enjoyed that. And it seemed, I don't really know because I can't tell if it was halfway, but there was an ad at one point, and I don't like to, you know, keep hitting the screen. I don't want to seem like I'm impatient, you know, with where I am in the song. But, you know, the first beginning, you know, being slow, then the other half really just picking up. I really enjoy listening to music from way back when. It's not even way back when. I mean, the fans of these bands are still walking on this earth, you know what I mean? It's not that long ago. But I just really love how songs feel like stories, like a movie, like you're going somewhere. I think I said that when I was listening to Jimi Hendrix's version of All Along the Watchtower, and this song just made me feel that feeling again. Also, I didn't know at the intro that there were other instruments involved. You know, sounds like it's some sort of woodwind. You know, I really like that. There was another thing that I was gonna say, and I totally forgot. And I think I need to just also start writing down the notes as I'm listening. Oh, I remember now. But listening to the solo and just allowing the musician to say what they want to say with their instruments, because, you know, with instruments, I feel like that's just, you know, playing music is another way of speaking. It's another form of communication. And if you saw my reaction to Comfortably Numb by Pink Floyd, I was so geeked listening to Comfortably Numb live that I did speak when the solo was going on. I was just that geeked about it. But then people were like, no, that's a no-no. That, fuck you, basically, in so many words, right? To each their own. And honestly, I'm not saying like, oh my god, like David Gilmour, oh hail David Gilmour. Like, I'm not saying that at all. But he is a great guitarist. But instead of, you know, getting upset, it's kind of like, let me take note and actually, you know, just listen. You know, even though I was very geeked, listening to what they have to say, to what they want you to feel with their instruments. And yeah, music back then, it's a great time, because if you really think about it, right, there were still people like Sylvia Plath. She was, you know, from the 60s. You had Albert Camus, who I want to say he passed away in the 60s, I want to say. But you had some great people during that time. So that was still a time where people were reading, where people were in touch with like their spirits and stuff, their minds, you know. And then there was that whole, you know, thing with psychedelics coming into play at this time, and people were just really just opening up their mind. Hopefully not too much, because I can speak from experience. At some point, you're gonna grow up and you're gonna be like, I gotta lay off this shit. It's not like I did shrooms too often, just a couple of times, but depending on how many you take at a certain time, it really does open things up, and you will become more grounded and you'll see things differently. But if you're one of those people who does things, you know, use it wisely and with caution. But the music back then, it feels like it speaks to the spirit, because I can't even explain it. But now, in this world where artificialness and speedy product, you know what I mean, like dishing stuff out, now you got Temu, you got Shein, it's all about fast consumption, easy consumption, you know what I mean? But having songs where they really took the time to create it and perfectly curate it, I feel like, I don't know, every single time I throw on something that's from Jesus Christ. I mean, if we really want to get into it, fun fact about me, I used to be really into ragtime piano. And I don't mean just listening, but playing ragtime piano as well. So let's just say from 1800s to, I'll be polite and I'll put the cutoff somewhere like in the 90s. No, because even the 2010s and stuff, there were some hits, but like it was changing, so we'll cut it off somewhere, near the 90s. It's just, I wouldn't say simpler, because there were complex songs and this, that, and the third, but it brings a type of peace, should I say. It just feels like I got the perfect way I want to say it. Nowadays, when you put on music, right, it's like, it's a hit. You're like, oh, this is like fire, like this song, this beat, like these lyrics, like, oh my god, it's so catchy, like it's so good. And that is not to discredit smaller artists making music nowadays. Okay, I'm not saying that. But when you listen to, I'll use this as an example, it's almost like you are in the room with that band. I don't know if it's the equipment they were using, if it just the time in which music was being created, if people just really had that grit for putting out masterpieces, but it really feels as if you're with them. You know what I mean? Like you're their homie, you're their friend. Like it speaks to you. It's personal. And nowadays, there's really not that personal touch. And that's, I think, why my young mind, okay, if you can guess my age, if you can guess my age, I'll give you a tic tac and a kiss on the forehead, okay? But I think that's why I'm kind of going back to this this music, just because, let's be real. Let me get real for a second, okay? Depression, mental illness, all that kind of stuff. It's heavy and it takes a toll. And there are times where you feel really lonely. And for me, there was a moment about 2-3 months ago where I just felt like I was in some sort of really deep depression. Like, I don't know what it is. The music I was listening to just wasn't speaking to me. Like, music is my escape. You know what I mean? Music and movies. And even in movies, there's music. You know what I mean? Like, it still goes hand in hand. Music is my number one escape. So when I was putting on the music in my, in my old playlists and stuff, it just wasn't, it wasn't uplifting anything. I was still sad. I just didn't know what to do. And randomly, and I think this is why I just love the Beatles for me personally, it has nothing to do with, like, oh my god, they invented like every technique that you could use nowadays. Your favorite artist probably was inspired by the Beatles. They made it possible. Like, it's not like that. For me, listening to the Beatles was the first time in a long time where I listened to music and felt like, wow, they're here for me. You know what I mean? Like, this feels personal. This feels like we're in this together. Even though they have millions of listeners, it feels like you're in the journey. You're in the experience. You know what I mean? And so I think that's why I am starting to appreciate music from this time, because I can sense that just the lyrics, the music, it was a time of maybe like community. You know what I mean? Like, it just, I don't know. Nowadays, if you're sad, I wouldn't really suggest, putting on some Taylor Swift or whatever. Like, it's, probably good. She's a great songwriter. But it sounds like, music now just sounds, I wouldn't say bland, but the heart of it is not the same. You know what I mean? It's like walking around. Yeah, the only way I can explain it was I was walking around, okay, like the Tin Man from Wizard of Oz, looking for a heart. And once I opened up that portal and went back into time, I finally started beating. You know what I mean? So, man, I don't know. All I can really say is thank you to all these bands and all these artists that have created these songs that I still have yet to listen to for the first time. And to the people who, you know, voted in the poll for who I should listen to, nice choice. Nice choice. And for the people who have been, you know, watching and reacting and interacting with me, thank you very much. And to the people who may not be subscribed, but just, you know, gave this video a watch, thank you, thank you. And stay tuned for some little music history, okay, along with the reviews, because like I stated in this video and prior videos, I keep saying that this is a channel for nerds for a reason, okay? Okay, and if you're into comedy, this is also free. If you know who Carol Burnett is, or Lucille Ball, I think you need to subscribe, okay? So with that being said, thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the dark side.